Hey, hey, hey! What's going on, kiddos? Welcome to the Child of Mecha live stream. I am your host, Dirty Birdie. Plastic shit all over me. Jesus, look at this. It's a mess. Anyway, my name is Tim, the one and only Child of Mecha. Welcome. It's Tuesday. We're going to jump in on this Team SD Buildoff. Keep trucking on this. Fun till June, I guess, is the saying at this point, right? But repping the classic today, Child of Mecha shirt. If you want one of these amazing Child of Mecha shirts, I highly suggest you hit up www.childofmecha.com. Hit the store button up at the top. You will find this shirt, many more, hats, prints of my work, all sorts of fun stuff in there. Go peruse and add stuff to the cart. Aside from that, if you are interested in any of the tools and materials that we're going to be working with here today, I highly suggest you hit up the Amazon link somewhere below here on YouTube and Twitch. That side if you're watching on Facebook. And I do get a bit of a commission based off the stuff that you buy, but it does not increase the cost for you. It goes to help out me, goes to help out the stream, goes to fuel our endeavors moving forward, right? A lot of cool stuff in there. Like I said, tools and materials, gear for streaming. Now's a good time for that, and books for inspiration. So go pick up some, okay? Aside from that, if you are interested in kits, tools, paints, accessories, Mecha Decals, sheets 1 and 2, those are both shipping right now. Hit up our friends right down here, USA Gundam Store. Adam and the fine crew will definitely have what you need. And as always, if you like what we do here, man, spread the gospel. Like, follow, subscribe, all that good stuff. Share it with your friends. Email it to your auntie. Tweet it to your grandma. Whatever. Help spread the word, okay? Because there's far too many people, far too many people that are still posting on these dumb Facebook groups asking questions that we cover all the time here. It's just sad. It's a very, very sad thing. They should be watching, and you should be telling them. There's only so much I can do, guys. Cheers. Anyway, let's get into it, yeah? Whew. Oh, I wanted to show you something. Let's go camera 2. So, if you missed last night's stream, and, you know, I'll go ahead and pull it out. Yes, there's the gun for the GBWC build. Yes, I know. There it is, right? And a bidet for your tushy. Yo, don't sleep on the bidets. I'm telling you guys, don't front. Like, bidets are amazing. Amazing. Like, it's stupid not to have one at this point. You can get an add-on bidet for your toilet, which takes all of maybe 10-15 minutes, and like anybody can install it. It costs like $30-40. Like, you'll save that in toilet paper by the end of the year, if you can find it. Anyway, so we had a mishap on last night's stream installing these bits here, right? And that didn't go particularly well for me. I was trying to do something fancy and it just didn't end up working well, and then, you know, I just kind of showed everybody how to sculpt in a pipe into plastic. So went ahead, ripped all that off and replaced it with a thicker sheet of styrene here. Pulled back the dimensions a little bit so I can outline scribe it, and I think that looks rather nice just as is. And I think we're actually going to leave that just simple there. Yeah. So that's the update. I think, honestly, I think that looks pretty damn good. And then after the stream, I just quickly outline scribed the front bit of the front bit there of the scope right up here. I think that looks pretty good. Yeah. So, but yeah, go check out last night's stream. I show this thing off very much. And I think this is coming out really nice. And I am I am half tempted to resin cast this. I'm not going to lie. I'm half tempted. We'll see. We'll see. Anyway. So there's that. Anywho, let's get caught up with the chat. Yeah. Let's see here. Where to start? Alex Andrews over there. He says, just checking in, monitor on, and Alexa muted. Yes. Enjoy the stream. Catch you tomorrow. Stay safe, all. And Alex, thank you, buddy. Kyle says, had to take a break from last night's stream. Catch up to say hi. There you go. Thank you, Kyle. Appreciate that, buddy. Ranger Chris, same. Plus, missed yesterday's early stream due to lesson. That's okay. That's all good, right? Rika Paul Carlson with that bidet comment. I still love my bidet. I'm not going to... Gert McDirt, he's over there. I spend way too much time answering the same 4 or 5 questions on Reddit's FAQ. I mean, it's Reddit. What do we expect, right? Like, I hate to categorize, but Reddit and I don't have the greatest relationship in the world. So I will call out Reddit every day of the week. Reddit is honestly Gunpla with training wheels. If you're a part of the Gunpla, the Reddit group over there, I have no qualm with you being a part of it. I just think that whole scene is just like, it's just at least the last time I was in there, which was years ago, it was like a big Care Bear cuddle with potato quality photos and just, you know, a reverb chamber, just everybody echoing the same thing. Oh, Gunpla's freedom. Anyway, I don't like Reddit. Just saying. And I don't know a lot of people that really do. Anywho, Greek Nakos, he's over there. Charles on Twitch, he says, LOL, wait till they keep asking the same questions over and over again that could have been answered with the simple search of the group. Exactly. Yeah, well, that's kind of the other part of it, right? But I'd rather have them watch the stream and learn. Up their skill sets, right? That way we make better modelers. Kyle H., Mr. Clueless Gunpla has got a question.
We have a question.
He says, Tim, are you going to post the categorized stream list soon? Dude, it's on my list of things to do, Kyle, honestly. But I think pretty much everybody understands that list currently stands at about a mile long. So, while I will say, yes, I'm going to, realistically, I don't know when. Dead honest truth. Obviously, there are priorities to take precedent. I hope you guys can understand. Anywho, Written Wisely, why are you starting fires in chat? What? I don't know. Anyway, our friend Aurora, Mr. Andrews says, I need to go get a bidet. Dude, you seriously, your butt will thank you for it. Chris Degger says, I came in to hear bidets are amazing, LOL. But I can't, I can confirm they are great. See? They are. They're awesome. Chris Pab says, am I going to have to write an essay on resin again? Not yet. Kyle says, buy Mecha Decals for your bidet. There you go. Alex Andrews says, 20 times over like you're priming. There you go. Mr. Bill Rushalam, he's over there on YouTube. He says, howdy, y'all. What's up, Bill? Good to see you, buddy. And let's see. Simon Lamb. What's up, Simon? He's over there on the Mecha Army Facebook group. Simon's an awesome modeler, you guys. And if you have not seen his posts in the Mecha Army Facebook group, I highly suggest that you go check it out. Simon was the very first Canadian GBWC champion. 2017? I think. It was either 17 or 18. But yeah, wonderful modeler. So thanks for watching, Simon. Robert Cottrell's over there on the Mecha Army Facebook group as well. As always, holding it down. What's up, Robert? Good to see you, buddy. Bill says, first thing I see when I come in is a request for a bidet. I am scared now. No, dude, bidets are amazing. Bill, trust me. Go get you a bidet. You will thank me. Trust me. You will thank me. Gert McDirt says, LOL, true, man. I do it because I kind of started there, so I try to be as helpful as I can to the new guys. It is a Care Bear and misinfo galore. Man, I'm so glad to see that nothing's changed over there on our Gumpla. Bill says, okay, not to say this stream has gone down the pooper, but everyone is jumping on a bidet. Dude! Bill, I'm telling you, man. Bidets are great. If you haven't experienced it, it's awesome. It is really, really awesome. Pab says, I've never primed something more than 14 times. Each layer was sanded off completely before repriming. Jesus, Pabs. Scott Day's over there on YouTube. He says, hey, Tim. Back again, just building before work. Master Grade Justice. Nice. P.S. My Epion Gundam is ready for primer now. Thanks for the tip with the bathing the parts. Nice. Pab says, man, there was a time when every single post was nothing but Gunpla dabbing. In the Gunpla Reddit. Yeah. Well, it's Reddit. What do you expect? Like, come on. I'm not. We're not gonna. Yeah, no. Anyway, so here's the one of the legs for this little SDHG unicorn, right? And I think with everything that we've done, focus. Damn you. I think with everything we've done thus far, I think it's looking really, really nice. You got the little, the big old thruster cowl down here with that nice added on little detail. You've got the full-on chop going here with the filled in, little calf units on both sides. That's looking really nice. We've got the customized foot down here with all the scribe lines and everything. Same with the knee joints. We cut off, I think about a good centimeter at least on the upper leg here, and that's all nicely filled in, looking good. Scribed, filled, sanded, all that good stuff, right? That's all looking quite nice and solid. Now, what we need to do, and the place where we've basically been neglecting at this point, is the actual leg itself and the kind of ankle armor pieces here, right? So this guy right here, and we take the foot off and we set that off to the side. These side pieces down yonder here as well. So I think we need to do something about that, right? So we'll take all this stuff off, get that gone. And then one of the things that we still kind of need to tackle is this area in here, right? Because as you can see, there's that cut goes along here, and I filled some of these little pockets of kind of dead space with super glue and stuff like that, and we'll need to go back in and kind of feather that out and make that all kind of look nice and everything, right? But this, it's so far, I think this is looking pretty good. I think we're in good shape for it, and so there's the there's the front part here with the this nice reveal right in here. That's a nice little touch. But yeah, so that's what I think we're going to be working on today. So first things first, let's get this sanded. Let's do a little bit of drawing on this, a little bit of design work, and come up with an idea of kind of what we want to do, right? Yeah. Let's see. Pab says it hurt my feelings. Oh, the Reddit, right? Kyle says we can save Tim's opinion on Reddit for DMC. That's true. Yeah. Pab says, oh, that's right, DMC this Friday. Submit questions, please. Kyle says, I wonder if Tim wants to do a drunken DMC. Ooh, that's not actually a bad idea. It's a decent idea, actually. Yeah. Let's see. Brandon's over there on YouTube. He says, what's up, everyone? What's going on, dude? How is your daughter's toe doing? Whose toe? Whose daughter's toe? I don't know. Gert McDurk says, hello, okay. You've woke me up from my cuddle den. I could definitely utilize my time better elsewhere. Nice. You know, that's what we do here. We convert the our Gunpla subreddit masses, and we deprogram them. We bring them out of the cult. We let them see the light. It's my job. It's my passion in life. Oh, no. You know what? I kid. I kid. For the most part. Okay, not really. I don't really kid that much when it comes to Reddit. They suck. But, it's just... It is what it is. Anyway. Let's get some sandpaper on this thing, shall we? What's funny is, our boy Justin, Mr. Justinius Builds, I think he's still a mod over there. So that's funny, right? So that's funny. Let's see. Bill says, I mean, I had heard of getting your feelings butthurt, just didn't realize it was literal. Oof. Hey now. Is that a bidet joke, Bill? I don't know. But yeah, Reddit's fun to mess with. Reddit is fun to mess with. Let's see. Pab says DMIC. Drunk, meaningful, incoherent conversation, right? Jesus. All right. So, again, what we're doing here is we're just scuffing up the surface so we can lay down some graphite here. Get an idea of kind of what we want to do on this this front kind of ankle armor thingy, right? All right. So, there's our three pieces to this puzzle, right? This piece here, I really don't know if we want to do too much to this, other than flatten it. Ooh, or drop it. Let's see. Alright, so that's good and flattened there. So that's, I don't know, we might put a notch in that or something. Just something. Let's see. Oh shit! I missed Bill's comment. He says the bidet hurt your feelings, Pat. And then he says, I mean, I had heard of getting your feelings butthurt. Wow, that makes it actually even funnier now. Like I totally missed Bill. I totally missed your comment from before. Now I get it, and that makes it just funnier. Yeah. Anyway, Pabby said, nah, the Gunpla dabbing photos. Well, that does do it, yeah. Merritt Philbin is over there on YouTube. He says, "Sup, all? What's going on, Merritt? Good to see you, buddy." Man, Merritt, that texture on that Zagok is looking sweet as shit. Like, how did you do that? How did you manage that texture? Let us know. Because I may need to kind of replicate that on a super secret project that I'm working on right now. And that was the reason why I had dust and plastic shavings and shit all over me. But let me know. Mr. Surfacer 5000, that's it. Or 500, that's it. Really? Ain't that a bitch? Do I have 500? I don't know. I'll have to look out in the out there in the thing. I may have some 500. See, now the wheels are spinning. Now the wheels are spinning. Huh. Alright, I may have to try that. May have to try that. Yeah, brushes of various sizes, toothpicks, toothbrush, Scott Bright sponges. What? 1,000 would probably work too. Yeah, but that grit in the grit size in 500 is so much bigger. And for the super secret project, I may need something in that scale. It looks awesome though. Like, no freaking lie. Like, I was actually looking at your Instagram earlier this morning, and I was just like, how the fuck is he doing that? Right? It just, because I was looking at it, I was just like, yo, this is perfect for this project that I'm working on. Damn it. So, good thing you were on. Glad I asked, right? Let's see. Bill has finally less than 100 work emails, you guys. Congratulations, Bill. Superset over there on Twitch, he's got a question.
We have a question.
Heyo. He says, about the Unicorn Gundam, how would I go about making the ankles and feet more like traditional, like the new or any other MS? I want to make my Banshee Verka more like EF Earth Federation mobile suit when I start that project. Good question. It depends on the style that you're going for, I guess. I mean, you could always do a foot swap with, another model. If you had like a new Verka, or if you could get junker feet, from somebody else, or say if you had like I don't know, Zeta or Zeta Plus lying around, those are super duper pointy, and I think those would probably look good, or hell, even an XS with those big old clown feet. I would probably start with maybe a foot swap or something like that, and then kind of go from there. Best thing I could say. So it's a bit of a broad question. So yeah, I mean that's kind of the starting off point that I would go. Yeah. Mare says Mr. Dissolve Putty 2 could work. Nice. Kyle says I can send you work related Gunpla pics, Bill. Nice. Merritt says thanks, man. Layering, hoping the paint picks up the divots and micro scratches, dude. I mean, from what I've seen, it looks legit. R for Aurora Andrew says, need to figure out how to take the fittings of my compressor off so I can fix an air leak. Wrenches and the proper tools, buddy. Best thing I can tell you. Don't strip the nuts and stuff like that. It's always bad when you strip your nuts. Very bad. What is it? Get the best thing for sealing an air leak, it's called Duralock, and you can get it from Home Depot, Lowe's, wherever, right? And it comes in this little can like this, and it's got a screw on top, and it's basically just like this kind of weird baby blue paste that you put on the fittings and all that. And I'm gonna tell you what, man, that stuff works like crazy. It never sets. It's like It's basically like a liquid seal, right? It never sets completely. You can remove the fittings and everything. I hate Teflon tape. That shit never works for me for some reason. But get you some Duralock, Duraloc. It's usually down like the, air tool aisles and all that good stuff. Get you some of that. I'm gonna tell you what, you're never gonna have a leak again if you, coat the fittings and everything like that real well. This stuff is great. That's how I did the fittings on my pressure pot, and I've never had a leak. And I've left that thing at pressure for over 24 hours, and it's never gone down a single psi. Like, it's sealed. It's awesome. So, tip of the day. There you go. All right. So, let's get this little piece scuffed up here as well, yeah? Ah, shit. Whoopsie. Oh, God. Butterfingers here today, you guys. Shit. But this is kind of a small piece here. Alright. So, just kind of looking at this piece, I'm already starting to kind of develop some ideas of what I want to do with this, right? I think what we're going to start with is this piece. And I think what we're going to end up doing is doing some pseudo panel separations, right? So we'll play off this groove here and whoop, come up this way, yeah, and we'll just do something like that. Just a simple panel separation here, yeah. Just like that, right? But then what we can also do is play off this corner here. Maybe do something simple like that, right? Just like that, right? Kind of do that on both sides. And then, we don't want to do too much on this thing. So what I think we'll probably end up doing is maybe just a nice little, just a super small little box right here underneath of that hinge piece, right? So this will go right there, and then that box will be right underneath of it. And then I think what we want to do maybe on this is just like a nice little floating scribe, or a floating notch right there. Nothing too crazy. Maybe a 0.3, maybe a 0.6. I don't know. We'll figure it out. Now for this, I think what we'll do is we'll play off this corner here and this corner here, right? Now we're gonna have to kind of mirror this on both sides as best we can. Now let's see something here. Where did that one? Here it is. Let's see what. Ah, look at that. Okay, so that is dead ass 90 degrees to this. Just like that, right? This is obviously now that kind of looks like it's at an angle. Focus. There we go. Anyway, but it's 90 degrees to this top line right there, right? So if we do the same thing on this side and we play off that corner there for this, we'll get the mirror of it. Right there. Right? Boom, boom. Cool. Okay. So, I don't necessarily want to stop just with a... Come on. Folk. Whoop, there we go. I don't want to necessarily just stop with this vertical line here on both sides either, right? So what we'll do is we'll outline scribe these two little hinges on both sides, right? Something like that. I think that'll look good with those two kind of separated a bit. And let's see, what else can we do on these sides here? Maybe what we'll do is just like something like that. Almost like a micro panel. Get some lines in there to make it a little bit more interesting, yeah? We'll end that a little bit higher. But I think that's a good start. Fairly simplistic. Decent. I like it. I like it so far. And then with everything there, I think that'll look pretty nice. And then from here, what we can do, maybe go in a positive add. Maybe do some plating like that. I don't know. I don't know if I like that. But what we could do is we could wrap this around. Kind of do this type of thing. Could wrap it around there. I think that would look good. Yeah. All right. I'm good with that. Let's jump into this. Yeah? Let's jump into this. Okay, real quick, let's get caught up with the chat because I know there's some questions and stuff like that. So let's get caught up, yeah? R for Mr. Andrew says, I have a Menard's Tool Shop brand 2-gallon compressor. Can't figure out how to take the fittings off the way they assembled it. Ah, gotcha. Merritt says, pressure pot would be great, man. Need to get into casting more. More time, more please. Yeah, we all need more time, trust me. Kyle says, Andrew, you should only need to remove the connect chuck, and adjustable wrench should get that right off. Andrew says, tried that once. The way they put the pressure gauges on makes it hard to without breaking anything. Gotcha. Merritt says, I guess I know where to turn if my compressor ever goes. I've had so much luck with my Iwata Power Jet Pro. It's been a beast. Yeah, I'm lucky my freaking compressor hasn't gone up after 15 years, but it is a Pash, so... Or no, it's not a Pash. What is it? It's that Australian company. I forget what it is. Anyway, Kyle says, are you turning the wrench in the right direction? Wow. Once you break the tension, it should come off with ease. Eddie Johnson's over there on YouTube. He's got a question. He says, looking to get into scratch building. I already like this. What sizes of evergreen strip and plate would you suggest as good for most 1/100 scale applications? Great question. So it depends on the look that you're going for. For general plating and just, you know, kind of your everyday starting point, I would start off with the 0.5 millimeter size thickness. 1 millimeter, 2 millimeter, 3.2, 4 millimeters. Those are kind of good starting off points. 4.8 and 6.3, which are the other strip sizes. I don't know if you need that right out of the gate, but they're great to have. And then, you know, you probably would want maybe some 1 millimeter as well, just for heavy looking stuff. And then also for, if you did want to get into like full scratch building, that's always good to have. 1 millimeter is great for, creating, you know, geometric shapes and things like that, bulking out material. And then if you wanted to plate 1 millimeter, that's good too. If you wanted kind of a nice, heavy look to your mobile suit. So yeah, so 1 millimeter and 0.5 millimeter would be my starting off points. But then of course, you know, they have 1/4 millimeter thicknesses. They have 0.75 millimeter thicknesses, and so on and so forth. So the 4 of those varieties and all the strips and sizes I would try to acquire. I know that's a lot, but trust me, when you get deep into it, you're going to start using that stuff a lot. So that's kind of a good starting off point. For plate, definitely 1 millimeter and 0.5 millimeter. That's easy. Go to that, and then, you know, just kind of start building your collection of plastic material, right? You can kind of venture into tubes and rods and different extrusion shapes, triangles, you know, square tube, etc., etc. So yeah, start off with that. Good question, but great direction. So best of luck, Eddie. Sam L says, afternoon everyone, running late, I'm here. What's going on, Sam? Good to see you. Bill says, Andrew, have you done a Google search for your model servicing? They may have specific instructions out there. Yeah, that's a good call. Colin, Mr. Hi Craig. Hi, Craig. He says 1 millimeter, 0.5 millimeter for thickness, and then an assortment of strip sizes. You also use a T-square to cut different strip sizes from styrene sheets. Bingo, there you go. Ascension Industries is over there. He says, hey, how is everyone? What's going on? Manny, Mr. Babyface himself, MacDio. Hello, you beautiful modelers. What's up, Manny? Good to see you. Kyle says, Manny said I'm beautiful. My day is made. Mine too. Bill, in response to Eddie, he says, until you know your own style, would start with evergreen odds and ends, then based off what you use, you can figure it out easier. Yeah, that's actually probably a pretty good suggestion as well. Just, you know, kind of start with odds and ends and see kind of what you gravitate to. So yeah, that's a good suggestion. Manny says, no, Kyle, you're beautiful and smexy. Ooh, hey now. You guys are getting kinky in the chat. Take that someplace else. Ascension Industries. So I am researching clear coats before I get my spray booth next week. What do you guys recommend for acrylics? So for like water-based acrylics and stuff like that, or Tamiya, you know, like straight Tamiya, Mr. Hobby, the Mr. Top Coat, it's in the green can, not the gray can. The gray can is Mr. Super Clear. That's lacquer. The stuff in the greenish turquoisey can, the Mr. Top Coat, that's actually acrylic. You can use that on top. Those are wonderful. So that would be my recommendation. Let's see. Mike Skyers is over there on YouTube. He says, "Hey Tim, thank you for hosting these great streams. You're getting me hyped for a new build." Oh man, thank you, Mike. I appreciate that, buddy. No, you know what? It's my job now, right? I'm a full-time modeler, so hey, it's what I do, right? It's what I do. All right, let's get describing this thing, shall we? Let's start with this little guy first. Focus. Come on, focus. Oh, come on. Really? That's... Son of a bitch, this camera. It's acting temperamental today, kids. I don't know why, but we'll just deal with it. Okay. So we got that scribed in just between these two surfaces there. That's easy. And then we'll just kind of freehand right here in this little groove. Excellent. All right, and then we'll freehand this guy right here too. Okay, just like that. All right, now we go ahead and reinforce these lines a little bit. Get these to proper depth. Okay, there's that. Let's see, Mike Skyers over there on YouTube's got a question. He said, would you use the acrylic top coat on top of a lacquer paint instead of the stuff in the gray cans? Personally, no, I wouldn't, because the acrylic, I mean, you can't, let's put it this way. Let me rewind that. You absolutely can. It's perfectly fine. It will never, acrylic will never damage lacquer or solvent-based paints. But it's not exactly true in the opposite direction, right? So say you lay down an acrylic paint, Vallejo or something like that, and then you go and spray on Mr. Super Clear. Well, if you haven't let that acrylic dry, at least for several days, the lacquer could go on and then shrink and pull that paint with it, and basically it would crinkle it, right? And it would look really, really weird. Now, if that's the look that you're going for, then have at it, right? But that's not necessarily the look that most modelers would want. So you absolutely can use lacquer over acrylics, but you have to wait several days for the acrylics to cure completely, and then what I would suggest is just very, very, very light coats of the lacquer stuff if you're doing that to acrylics. Now, flip it around to your original question, acrylic over lacquer, yeah, that's perfectly fine. Now, mind you, I probably wouldn't do that simply because if you're using lacquer, primer, paint, why not just use the strong top coat stuff and protect your paint and all that good stuff, right? It just, why stop there is all I'm saying. But yes, you can. Ascension Industries says, saw BMC chisels went up 100% on eBay, and everyone else in the U.S. is out of stock. Had to order a chisel from China. Ugh. Yeah, with the mail stoppage coming out of Japan, BMCs are a hot commodity right now, right? Ascension Industries continues, says, has anyone else noticed certain supplies going up in scarcity and price? I mean, it's probably only going to be a matter of time before all that happens. So It's just like toilet paper. Panic buy, right? Panic buy, kids. Go get your shit, right? Go get your shit. Mike Skyer says, I was curious to know if the acrylic top coat looks nicer versus the lacquer top coat. I don't think there's really any difference. They're just different chemically. But finish-wise, they identical, pretty much. Because, I mean, obviously one is, you have gloss on acrylic side, you have gloss on lacquer side. They're both gloss, you know what I mean? Same thing with matte, same thing with, semi-gloss, etc., etc. So, no, there shouldn't be any sort of noticeable difference between the finishes, between the two. So, Ranger Chris says, unfortunately, the supply situation is a hurry up and wait one. Yeah, that is unfortunately the truth, right? That's the kind of shitty part about all this. Kind of the shitty part about all this. Well, among all the other shittier parts. Not to say that that's the only shitty part about this. Okay. Just making sure these lines are properly connected there. All right, and then now we're going to go ahead and transfer this line up and around to the surface. Just like that. Perfect. Okay. Here we are. All right, let's get this top line reinforced. All right, very good. Connect all these, make sure they're nice and even. Perfect. All right, one step in the right direction there. All right, so now, excuse me. Now what we got to do is we got to figure out the height on our side bits here. And that looks to be about, we could probably call that 2 millimeters if we really wanted to. Let's see. No, let's go 1.5 just to be on the safe side. Yeah, 1.5. 1.5. So, what we're going to do, excuse me, is let's draw this line like that. And we're going to make these two lines kind of parallel, right? Because that's a much better design in terms of the 3-line rule, right? Do the same thing with this. Just like that. We want to make sure our angles are roughly the same. They look to be. Okay. Jesus, I can't hold anything today. All right. So, let's go ahead and freehand this guy here. First and foremost, let's get that corner nice and sharp there. Okay. Transferring that line, wrapping it around the bottom there. That's always important. Okay, and let's use our scribing jig to make our flat line now. All right, very good. Looks like we overshot that first line a little bit. Not a big deal because we can go back and fill, basically patch that in with super glue, right? This line we need to be careful on. We need to stay parallel to our other diagonal. And cool, that looks good. All right. Let's make sure everything is properly connected. Okay, now let's take a look at our work here. Yeah, not bad. Not bad. Yeah, that looks pretty good. That looks pretty good. I like it. I like it. All right, so let's do the same thing here real quick to the other side, right? Just go back and reinforce these lines a little bit, get them to depth. Okay, that looks good. All right, now let's go ahead and get our other diagonal set in here. Okay. Very good. All right, that looks like it matches pretty nicely. We'll take a look here in just a second. Let's see. All right, let's get a little bit of sandpaper on this surface. And let's see. All right. Clean that out. All right. Let's see. Let's get super zoomed in. Yeah? Let's see. Boom, boom, and... All right. Okie dokie. So, let's get a little bit better. There we are. All right, so that looks pretty good. Still a little leftover. Still a little leftover graphite on both sides, but you guys can kind of get the picture. That looks pretty nice. Those top pieces here and here, they're both looking nice and separate. Now, let's go ahead and get out of super zoom. And let's go ahead and tackle this little hinge piece here, yeah? Now, we're going to go ahead and we're going to use the 0.60 chisel for this, and we're going to make this notch. Now, the good thing with this piece is that this piece has a it has this center mold line right there that actually helps me maintain a centered notch, right? So that's actually a good thing right now, to have that mold line there. We're just basically right now reinforcing this little notch, just getting it to a nice depth, and trying to get the bottom of this notch as flat as possible. It's not a huge concern, but if it's really off, sometimes that panel lining fluid can flow to one side rather than the other. So by having it flat, it avoids all of that potential unevenness. So there you can see that little, just that little floating notch right there in the middle. Nothing crazy, right? Nothing crazy. And we add that on there. And I think that looks pretty nice. I'm not sure if I still want to add this little box here at the front or not. I'm still kind of contemplating that. Maybe what we could do is make that into a horizontal notch. That may be what we want to do. In fact, I think that is what we want to do. I'm going to go ahead and just do that. Screw it. Why dick around? Okay. I think this will look pretty nice right here. Just a nice little horizontal notch on this thing. Going back and reinforcing this here. All right, let's see what that looks like here. Let's see, it looks like we need a little bit more off on this left side here. Alright, do the final little cleaning there, and yeah, that looks pretty dang nice. Let's take a look at it in super zoom, shall we? Let's see. There's that. There we go. Yeah, I like that. I like the way that looks. That middle little notch there and that lower horizontal one, I think it looks pretty good. Yeah. Yeah. All right. Let's get caught back up here real quick. Mike Skyers over there on YouTube. He's got a question for us.
We have a question.
Mike wants to know, what is your favorite and least favorite part of the hobby? I love when I finally get to paint and airbrush on my colors. My least favorite is getting rid of seam lines and filling hollows. Yeah, shoo. My favorite part, it's a toss-up between the actual build process and laying down decals. That's probably, those are my two favorite parts. Least favorite part, masking. I absolutely hate masking. It's tedious. It's just mind-numbing. I loathe it. Absolutely loathe it. But it's a necessary evil, right? So those are my most and least favorite. Bill says favorite, concept creation. Least favorite, masking. Bill says, Ascension, try messaging It's a Gundam sales on Facebook for your BMC chisels. Yes. Yes. That would be our boy Burkana, Mr. Ace Schultz over there on YouTube sometimes. So, yeah, definitely give him a shout. Give him a shout. Scuffles is over there on Twitch, and he's got a question for us. He says, if we replaced cars with mobile suits for civilian use, which mobile suit would you pick? What color would you have them painted, and why? Interesting. If mobile suits were replacing cars, I'd probably have to go with a Zeta Plus. Yeah, just because it's fast and transforms and all that. For color scheme, I'd probably go like a maybe like a flat black or something like that. You know, like a matte finish black. Yeah, I think that would be kind of sweet. But that's just me, right? That's just me. Kyle says, I enjoy and fear masking. Yeah. William says, masking is the devil, especially when you aim to not hand brush anything. Yeah. Mike Skyer says, I love and hate masking at the same time. When you peel off the tape, it's perfect. It's a beautiful thing. That is very true. William Williams says, my favorite is the first time you snap the model together brings back those days with Legos. Nice. Kyle, Mr. Clueless Gumpla, but when you peel it off and see paint missing, oh, the horror, right? Mike Skyer says, I die a little inside when that happens, and when it leaks under the tape, yeah. Persistent Turtle, Mr. Lucas is over there on YouTube. He says, happy Tuesday, everyone. What's going on, man? RF Aurora, Mr. Andrew, I'd pilot the Strike Freedom on my custom X frame. There you go. William Williams says, I'd take the Wing Proto Zero. Fair choices, lads. Fair choices. All right, so let's continue on with this. Let's get back into this ankle armor here. Yeah. All right, so we've got this. Whoop, we're still in super zoom. I forgot about that. Let's see. One and out. Boom. There we go. Excuse me. Time to wake up. Jeez. All right, let's get these little pieces outline scribed here real quick. Let's go ahead and get that with a 0.20 chisel, and we're just basically just outline scribing these little hinges here, right? And we'll wrap these around the bottom here as well. Don't forget that. That's a very important part of this process. Even if you don't necessarily see it, it'll give you hints that it's there. That little bit of shadow and everything goes a long way in terms of perception. Okay. There's the first bit. Do the second one here. Okay. Now right down the side. And again, we'll wrap this around the bottom here, just to do our due diligence. All right. So there's that. Now we can put the 0.2 away. We'll go back to 0.15. And where'd that? Yeah, here's this scribing jig here that we're going to need. Now this one obviously is nice and long, and it's got just a very, very thin lip to it, so that is kind of perfect for this style, this kind of scribing here that we're about to do. Let's move that back just a bit. Okay. All right. Now we've got our groove set in. Let's go ahead back and reinforce this. Okay, good there. And wrap both around there at the bottom. Whoop. Let's see. All right, and we'll line this up. About there. Very nice. All right. So there's that. Alright, and then for this one, we'll wrap this around the side, or the top, I mean. Always transfer your panel lines around surfaces. That's a big, big thing. Because if you don't, that panel line is not going to make any sense. Your panel is basically just going to be pointless at that, at that juncture. Because if you don't wrap your panel lines around the different surfaces and everything, it's just going to look like it's all connected, and that defeats the purpose, right? So, Let's see. Superset5 over there on Twitch just found out I forgot to add in my P.O. box number on my order for metal parts for my Jagan, but I got it fixed. However, I won't be finishing my Jagan before I go back to work, sadly. These things happen, right? These things happen. But at least you fixed it. All right. Continuing on. Now, what we want to do is we want to make these little micro panels on the side here. And let's see, to do that, let's see here. What do we want to try and manage? That's not going to work. Let's see. Do we have a nice thin little strip here? Yeah, we do. Look at that. Got a nice little thin strip piece of Dymo. That'll work great, actually. So, I'm going to go ahead and cut that in two, and then we'll lay this down parallel to the panel line. And now, real quick, before I do anything, let's go ahead and knock this corner down at an angle. Let's match these up here and make sure they're the roughly similar angle, yeah? Perfect. Yep, those look good. All right, rocking. Ooh, don't lose it now. Don't lose it. We need this one first. Okay. Here we go. All right. So now we're going to put this right up along the side here. And roughly about 2 millimeters or so from the top. And that's fairly parallel to the first line that we made here. There we go. That looks pretty good. Okay. That looks good. All right, so now we'll do our little diagonal. And we'll reinforce these lines. Good, right there. And right there. All right, let's get the graphite off this side here real quick so you can see the final design of this. So I know that's really hard to see, so we're not even going to try. But what we will do is pull out the 0.30. We'll make some little lines, some horizontal lines in this, and that will kind of complete the look of this thing. Okay, switch back to 0.15 to clear out the debris in this line here. And clean that up. All right, let's get super zoomed in so you can kind of see what's what here. Okay, and there's that. So you can kind of see how the panel runs all the way the length of this thing, but then those little notches in there, that they create that micro panel style look, right? You can kind of see the outlines there. And then our other scribe line over here, so I think that looks pretty damn good. We'll continue doing that, and we'll replicate it on the other side here in just a few seconds. But first, before we do that, let's get caught up with the chat. And let's get out of super zoom. Boom, there we go. Let's see. Lecky Gaming says, "Hey Mecha or anyone, I need advice. What is the best Gunpla to custom make as a beginner?" Sam L says the one you enjoy the most. Lecky says, "But I'm still new, right?" William asks, "Have you built a lot of Gundams?" And Lecky commented, "Yeah, a couple. Don't have much money." Okay, master grade or high grade scale of choice. Great. Lecky says high grade is my price range. I think I was thinking of God 00 Gundam. Okay, Lucky Gaming, be hard like a challenge. Gotcha. William Williams, then that is your goal. Come up with what you want to build, and then get what you need to make that happen. Yeah, I mean that's actually a fairly good point that William has. A lot of high grades are pretty nice and fairly simplistic to customize. You know, you can get stuff from IBO, you know, like the Lupus, Barbados Lupus. You know, you can like you can get the Grimgird. The Grimgirds are awesome. Love me a Grimgird, especially if you kind of like that knight kind of aesthetic. What else? The Gaplant is a great little kit. Yeah. But honestly, think about a concept that you want to make. That's kind of always the starting off point. And then kind of formulate in your mind what you want it to look like, and then seek out the parts that you would need, right? And that'll dictate, obviously, what kits that you would need to buy. Let's see. There's so many. So many to choose from in the high grade categories. IBOs are they all kind of have the same similar frames and makeups and things, so those are fairly easy to you know, swap parts on and things like that. And even if you wanted to get into something a little bit crazier, like, you know, modifying different parts and stuff like that, you know, the IBO frames would probably be your easiest go straight out of the gate, right? And plus they look really cool. What, you know, what are you going to do? So I mean, if anything, I'd probably start in that kind of direction, like an IBO kind of direction, and then really just kind of go from there, right? So, but yeah, Lecky, I mean, you're in the right place, right? Because that's what we do here. We teach and we customize and all that good stuff. So yeah, William Williams says easy high grade builds. Leo GM, that's another highly customizable one. And the Magwinock, right? Yeah, I mean, all of those. Excuse me, all of those are would probably be great for, you know, a beginner getting into customizing, kit bashing, all that good stuff. So yeah, I mean, kind of gravitate toward what you like, and then kind of develop that concept, and then get the kits that you would need to, you know, make that concept come to life. So best thing we can tell you. So yeah, best of luck, man. Come on back and you know, and chill with us and kind of tell us how everything goes. So yeah. Bill says, what do you plan to do? Kit bash, detail, paint? Depending on what you want to do, we'll bring different kits to the forefront. A great point. A very, very great point. Yeah. Like he says, thanks so much. Man, you're welcome. Like I said, it's what we do, right? It's what we do. All right. He says, I will try. I like that attitude. That's a good attitude to have. That's a good attitude to have. And you know, having that drive to, you know, customize kits and everything, I like it. I like it. All right. Let's get this little guy done up here, yeah? All right, we're gonna pop this over here on the other side. Okay. Just like that. Press that down, get that thing locked in, and let's go to town. Now, since this piece of Dymo tape is so thin, it's like a millimeter wide, maybe a millimeter and a half, you can't really press and apply too much pressure to this, or it'll end up popping off and or migrating on you and everything, and then you'll never get a straight line or anything. So just go very gingerly at first, and let the chisel do the work. That's the biggest thing. Let the chisel do the work, and then once you got that groove set in there, then you can kind of go back and reinforce everything. There we go. Alright, peel that off there. Since we've got our groove set in here, try to get rid of the Dymo tape. There we go. Excuse me. And let's get these little panel lines to a nice depth, and then we'll put our little notches in there, and then we'll be done with these little panels and stuff. Yeah, that looks good. All right, so Back over to the 0.30. Get our notches. Okay, swing this around. Let's get the 0.15 back in here, clean out that, that debris in this line. There we go. And let's just reinforce these wide lines here. There we go. And one last debris cleaning here. Get all that stuff out of those panel lines. And brush as much away as we can. Let's get our sandpaper involved here. Okay. And we're just cleaning out all the dust out of these things. All right. Let's see. That's hard to see, isn't it? Yeah, probably is. All right. Let's get zoomed in there. All right. So, there's that side. Looks nice, right? Bingo. Yeah. Matchy matchy. Matchy matchy, kids. Matchy matchy. Woo. All right. All right, let's get caught up. Superset5 says, I'm craving Subway all of a sudden with lots of bacon. Excellent choice, I guess. I don't know. Lucky Gaming says, well, thanks everyone. Got to go. Just wanted to ask before I left. Absolutely, man. Stop back and see us. Bill says, okay, man, let us know when you have more an idea and we can give you better specific advice. Bingo. William Wim says, when in doubt, buy the Master Grade Justa and Mecha Decals. Boom, there you go. And then William says, later everyone, the job calls. Nice. Julius Dembski, Sarge, he's got a question for us.
We have a question.
He says, I noticed that when you were scribing the notches, you were pushing forward with the chisel. Does that make it easier to do the notches? In certain cases, yes. So with these type of notches here that I made on the side, those are super, super thin, very, very small. Same kind of thing with this here on the hinge part. So when I push in to make the notches, I'm just basically skimming the top and just, you know, peeling just the surface of that plastic off. Imagine this is the chisel and this is the plastic, right? I'm going in, I'm scraping just the surface off of that plastic, and then that kind of sets the groove for our notch. I'll turn it around, do that in the other direction, set that other end of the notch, and then I'll go ahead and start pulling from there like normally. Now again, this is the thing, Sarge. I'm I am super, super comfortable with chisels, and I've, I have a very steady hand, and been doing this a long time, all that good stuff. So until one gets to kind of that level, use tape, use best practices. Pushing in with any chisel, unless you're doing it just right, unless you're at the right angle, unless you're shaving off just that top layer of plastic, you can blow out your cut and make a huge mess that you wouldn't normally have to clean up, right? So start off doing it right, and then once you're comfortable with that, then you can do it wrong like I do. So best thing I can say is, don't do as I do as I say. It's terrible to say that, I know, but it's the truth. One of those things. Anywho, all right, let's continue on, shall we? What time is it? 4:45. Okay, cool. We got some time to play around. I don't know if I like this design particularly well. Right? I don't know if I like that line. I'm thinking this. I'm thinking we just take it straight across. Yeah, I like that better rather than that little cutout there. I like that better. Yeah, we're gonna go with that. Let's go with that. All right. Let's see. For that, we're gonna go 0.5 millimeter in thickness. That looks like 0.5 millimeter. Let's double check and make sure. It is. Good. And let's see if this is tall enough. Ooh, yeah, it'll be just tall enough. Okay, excellent. So what we'll need to do is we'll need to cut a 45 into this thing. But first, chisel discipline. Ooh, wait a minute. Looks like we already have a 45 cut in here. Let's double check and make sure that that is a 45. It is not. So we'll cut a 45 in there. And now that is much better. And that is exactly what we're looking for. Perfect. Okay. So let's see. Let's get our strip cut here. Just like that. Set that off to the side there. And we're going to get our super glue. Put a decent drop on that. Load up our strip here. And let's get to placing this. There we go. Just like that. Perfect. All right. Good, good, good. That is good placement right there. That's what we want to see. Excellent, excellent, excellent. All right. So we cut the excess off there. And then we'll do the same thing there. And then we'll trim the rest of this with our hobby knife. Whoop, 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 whoop. Okay, perfect. Perfect, 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 perfect. All right, so first things first, let's do the top. Good, and we'll do this diagonal. Just like that. Okay. Good. All right, so now the only thing we have left is this bevel over here, right? So we're going to have to just take off the beginning part of that excess here. And now we're going to have to take our knife, just follow that bevel ever so carefully. Alright, looking good so far. Now we'll take our little jeweler's file and just flatten this out. Right along that bevel. And that looks pretty good. Alright, excellent. Now, we'll get another little strip of this, and we'll get this ready for glue up. And essentially what we're doing right now is just the strapping method, right? Nothing crazy. Very common to what we do. Okay. Perfect. That's looking good. And let's see, we got decent coverage. Everything looks good in terms of placement. That looks nice. That's what we want. All right. So now, again, we'll go ahead, clip off kind of the low-hanging fruit again. Just that excess overhang plastic. All right. Let's see. Good. All right, let's get the top now. Let's see, that's pretty dang good right there, kids. Let's do a little bit of finish sanding here on the front. Feather that joint together. Not too bad. Let's do a little scraping here. All right, there's a little divot there that we probably are going to have to fill with super glue after the fact, but that's not a big deal right now. Let's get to trimming this other side here. Very good. All right, so last process. We need to make sure 100% that the end of the strip is square. So we're going to cut this in our chopper over here. All right, good stuff there. And now we just need a little bitty strip. So what we're going to do is we're going to cut this. I'm going to cut this at an angle so we know which side is the square side, right? That's because that's important. We need to know which side is which. All right. Now we're going to apply glue to the actual piece here. All right, and now, moment of truth. Just like that. Excuse me. Yeah. Cool. Cool. That looks great. That is proper placement. Everything is looking nice. Everything's right with the world with this. All right, let's get a little bit of Insta-set on here. And let that start to kick. And while we're doing that, let's get caught up with the chat. Yeah? All right, because I know there's a bunch of people talking here. Let's go. Come to Uruguay, Mr. Javier. He says, I just took out the perfect gray GPO-1 out of my luggage to start building it. Never felt so overwhelmed by the amount of runners. Yeah, that's a perfect grade, man. Bill says, Javier, focus on one body part at a time. It helps. Oh, I'm sure. It's just like, what's the saying? How do you eat a horse, or how do you eat a whale, or something like that? One bite at a time. Similar to that, right? Let's see. RF Aurora. Why not a circle detail like the remix rifle? Oh, on the ankle part, because that's just not the look for the unicorn. The unicorn is made up of, angular plates and, all those moving weird parts and everything, and it's just not the look, right? It's just not the look, not the aesthetic. Robert Cottrell over there on the Mech Army Facebook, he says, got a little busy with customers, so what parts are you working on? These are the ankle parts for the unicorn, right? So these parts here go together like that, and then these will go on to the front part of the leg like that, right? So that's essentially what we're working on here this afternoon. Let's see. Bill says a circle detail might be out of place in this location on the rifle. Circular detail was something that was carried over from a previous design. Here it might be out of place. Of course, it is personal taste, that he says. Yeah, no, absolutely. And I totally agree. It's just not within the realm of aesthetics for the unicorn, I think, right? Yeah. Let's see. Julia says, perfect. I was wondering how you played up on a beveled edge. Yeah, man. Julia's hit up my website and you'll see the strapping detail, and that's exactly what this is. It's exactly what this is. Ascension Industries. What blade is that? I have a similar one, but it's larger. Oh, this here? This is the little NT cutter. Straight from Japan. But cool thing is you can get it on Amazon. Hit the link below. This is my hobby knife of choice, right? I used to be an Olfa guy, like this, right? But when I got this little guy, it completely changed everything. The diminutive size of it gives you so much dexterity and so much control when cutting pieces and everything. Oh, it's awesome. It's absolutely awesome. And then Bill says that is an NT cutter. He has it linked on his Amazon. Bingo. Julius says, has there been any more information released on the new Perfect Grade kit from Bandai? I have not heard anything. No rumblings or rumors or anything. Let's see. Ranger Chris has a Ranger Chris has a Ranger Quiz has a question. Jesus. He says, have Mr. Color paint that is peeling off Mr. Color aluminum. Anyone else have this happen? Interesting. I have not. Now, Mr. Color aluminum, is that in that like goldish bottle? Because if that is, it's peeling down to the aluminum layer. Yeah, that's one of those Mr. Metal colors, isn't it? I think. Let me know, Chris. Because if it is, yeah, it is one of those. Okay, so I've never used Mr. Metal colors. Let me preface this, but from what I understand and what I've seen, is the Mr. Metal colors are the buffable types of metallics, right? So essentially what you do is you spray it on, and then you take like a t-shirt or a cotton ball or something like that, and you buff them out to bring up the shine. Now, for me, if that's true, if it's buffable, then there's something else in there that makes it buffable, right? Most metallic colors are not like that. Yeah, okay, so Bill says Mr. Metal colors are buffed and need a day or two extra to cure, from what I remember. Interesting, okay. Chris says, what's odd is that I had also clear-coated it before masking. Well, see, then that's the thing, though, Chris, because what my train of thought is, and this is just me kind of going out on a limb here, but the Mr. Metal colors from everything that I've seen have always been like the last color you lay down, and since it's buffable, there's got to be something in the mix there that is not straight up lacquer, So what I'm thinking is that everything that you put on top of that, that buffing color acts as like almost as like a release, right? Everything else isn't gripping into that metal color; it's just laying on top of it, and then everything just peels off of that, right? That's my hunch at this point. Somebody out there, if you've got more experience in Mr. Metal colors, please, correct me if I'm wrong. But that's what my hunch is telling me. If it's peeling down to that layer, there's something about that layer that is not allowing everything else that you put over it to adhere to it. You know what I mean? So that's what I would probably say at this point. Yeah. Chris says, might be extra pigments or something would be my guess. Yeah. An additive or something in it is not allowing the coats that you lay on top of it to grip, right? So he says, creating an interesting weathering effect, though. Hey, silver lining, I guess, right? Why not? Nice. All right, so let's see. It's 5:04. We're going to continue going just a little bit because this Instaset should have fully cured the super glue here. We're going to get this cleaned up, outline scribed, and then we'll call it a day. Okay? Okay. All right, so let's get this bevel back into place here. Okay, that's looking pretty good there. All right, and then let's see. We'll grab one of our sanding blocks. This is 600, and we'll get that bevel cut in, looking really nice. Not too bad. Let's go with the little bastard. Well, this isn't the little bastard, but this is the normal bastard, right? Alright, great starting point there. Now let's finish this. Just like that. Okay. Perfect. All right, so now we just need to trim the top here. Scrape that flat. And now we need to do our super glue cleanup all around the pieces here. Okay. All right. Now we'll do our horizontal or surface cuts. And this is just to clean up that excess super glue on this thing. Okay. All right. Let's see. That looks pretty good. All right. Now, let's go ahead and outline scribe this piece, and I think we'll call it a day. Yeah? Here we go. Now, for this, we're using the 0.20, and we're just going to make a nice separation between all these parts here. Placement on all these is really good. This is creating a nice flat panel line here. which is exactly what we are looking for. Okay, and last little separation right up here. All right. There we go. That's a little fine tuning. Little fine tuning around the joint here, because this is on a slight curve. There we go. Nice. All right. Let's go ahead and put this thing together. Let's see what we got here. Let's try to get this little guy pulled off of here. Maybe not. Okay, there we go. Get this locked up on the foot, or on the leg here. All right, let's get our foot back into place, and we'll see what this all looks like together, okay? All right. Good. And coming. All right. There's that. Sweet. So, there's everything that we did to that. And I think that's definitely kind of on brand with how the unicorn looks, you know? Just an extra plate. Just a simple little extra plate there. All that scribing and everything. That all looks really quite nice. That middle notch there, it kind of sets off that little hinge. I dig it. And that all just kind of fits, right? Just kind of fits, and that looks good as an entire composition with the leg here. So I'm happy with this so far. Happy with that. So, all right, kids, let's get caught up with the chat one last time, and then we're gonna call it a day. Yeah, let's go camera one. Whew, boy, oh boy. All right, so let's see. Let's see. Chris Degger says there is one of those NT cutter knives with a needle on the back. I guess that might be used for panel lining. Yeah, Mine actually came with a needle as well. And it's around here somewhere. I don't know where. But it's around here somewhere. Ah, no, here it is. Is this it? Yeah, I think this is it. This might be it. But yeah, so basically, that comes out. And this might not be it. Yeah, no, that's definitely not it. I think this is to my compass. Where's the needle? I don't know. But anyway, yeah, it came with a needle. I have no idea where the damn thing is, because I hardly ever use it because I don't have a real need for it. Mainly because I already have a general scriber, one of these, tungsten carbide tip kind of pen scriber type of deals. I already have one of those, so it kind of defeats the purpose of using that steel pin. But yeah, they do come with those, and they are useful in certain situations. So yeah, absolutely. Ranger Chris thinking I might have to hand brush to fix it, as if I keep trying to mask and airbrush, I'm just going to waste tape and paint. You could be right, yeah. Written Wisely says, by any chance, are you near hairspray? Hairspray will prevent paints from sitting properly despite being painted on smoothly. Yeah, it basically acts as like a release. Bill says, I would mask off what you need to keep and then do a wet sand on the rest. Give yourself some extra texture for new painted grip. Not a terrible idea. Yeah. Chris says, note paint layering was primer, gloss black, aluminum, white/black striping. Gotcha. Bill says, normally metals are the last lacquers put down, and if anything is applied on top, it is usually enamels and top coats. Yeah. Let's see. Everybody's trying to help Chris here. Bill says, what type of paint are you applying on top? Mr. Color or Aqueous line. It's just Mr. Color. Solvent base, whatever the new hip way of describing those kind of paints is. Nice. I like it. Let's see. Julius Sarge has a question.
We have a question.
He says, is it okay to superglue my Greeblies to a piece of plexiglass, or should it be regular glass? Yeah, I mean, I don't see an issue with either one. Now, mind you, the plexiglass may grip that superglue a little bit more than actual glass will. Just keep that in mind. You may or may not be able to get those off of there at a later date, but since you're making copies, does it really matter? Bill says, cool, then yeah, I would either mask and wet sand or apply a gloss clear and then resume painting. Yeah. Written Wisely. Noise! Sound like Gary. Ranger Chris says, that's just it. I did already do a gloss coat over the aluminum, which is why I'm confused as to why the masking is still lifting the paint. Yeah, I mean, it's just, there's something in that that's just not allowing anything else to grip it, Just one of those things. Mike Skyer says, have a great evening. Thanks again for the stream. Dude, thank you, Mike. Appreciate it. Bill says, so you have aluminum with a gloss clear. What brand? And the new paint is lifting off the clear coat. Yeah, it seems like everything's lifting off from what he's saying, Bill. Clear number 46. Yeah, ran out of super clear a while ago. Have not been able to get more due to Rona. Yeah. Bill says that is not a top coat. That's just a clear lacquer. Yeah, that's actually correct. Yeah, that is just a clear paint, if you will, which you can add other clears to it to make your own kind of custom tint. So, yeah, one of those things. Now the later ones, the UV cut, I know they make in what is it? The Mr. Color. God, what is it? The Mr. Color DX or something like that. It's the ones in the bigger jars. They actually bottled the UV cut in those, so if you can get those, that would be good as well. But honestly, I don't think it's gonna be. I don't think. I think the problem is the paint itself, is the aluminum, right? I just think that's going to be the main issue. Chris, what you can do alternative to that is to, I hate to say this, strip everything, repaint it, lay down your lay down your white first, mask off your stripes, paint your black, mask off those stripes, mask off everything else that you don't want the aluminum color, and then spray that last. Peel off the tape, then you've got your white and black stripes and everything. It's probably a shitty alternative, but it could be your only alternative at this point, unfortunately. So it's one of those things, man. It's that Mr. Metal color. It's just I think that's the culprit, and I think it's just killing you, honestly. So, and I don't know if there's anything you can do to kind of even recover that. So, sorry, man, that sucks. Sucks. So, he says we'll have to remember that for future use at this point. Yeah, sorry, man. Tough break. Definitely a tough break. So, all right, kids. Let's go ahead and finish this one out. Again, rocking the classic today. So if you want to pick one of these up, go hit up www.chowdamecha.com. Hit the store button up at the top. You will find this shirt, many more, hats, prints of my work, all sorts of cool stuff in there. So go load up on that. If you are interested in any of the tools and materials that we worked with here today, I highly suggest that you hit the Amazon link below here on Twitch and YouTube. That side if you're watching on Facebook. Now, I do get a bit of a commission based off the stuff that you buy, but it does not increase the cost for you. It does definitely go to help out me, help out the stream, and fuel our endeavors going forward. Lots of cool stuff in there, books for inspiration, gear for streaming if you're into that, and as always, the tools and materials that we use here kind of every day. And if you're interested in kits or paints or tools, accessories, all that good stuff, Mecha Decals, sheets 1 and 2, those are in stock and shipping now. Hit up our good friends right down here, USA Gundam Store. Adam and the fine crew down there will definitely have what you need. And as always, if you like what we do here, if you like learning, if you like upping your skill sets and all that good stuff, man, like the video, follow, like, subscribe on the social medias, all that good stuff. And if you know somebody that might like this as well, share it with them, or share it with a group on Facebook or something like that, right? Let it be known. Okay? Anyway, you guys, I'll be back here tomorrow at 3 p.m. to pick up on this little SD build and everything, and then we'll be back tomorrow night to work on the GBWC build. So, come on back for that, and in the meantime, have a wonderful rest of your day. Wash your hands, use common sense, stay safe out there, all that good stuff, and especially, go build something cool. All right? Take care, guys. I will see you tomorrow.